choice.
I've noticed that we're twinning it tonight.
Yeah.
And I have a matching cup as well.
That's
That's so funny.
funny. Did you make that choice?
I made that choice not to match the cup. No, actually, I didn't. And we didn't, by
We
the way.
didn't. So it wasn't a conscious choice.
No,
Oh, what a beautiful lead-in.
I
Because
think it was subliminal, wasn't it? With subliminal messages. We're like, oh, I'll wear red today. We're so tuned in now at this stage. We've known each other this long.
we're tuning, vibing on the same frequency,
Yeah,
babe.
we're here with our red. So
Yeah.
we're talking about choice tonight, this evening, tonight. It kind of feels like tonight because it's already,
The
dark.
winter is coming, but that's not a choice.
No, it's not a choice. It's not a choice.
Well, what do you have a choice about?
Hopping on a plane and going somewhere warmer, like it's summer in Australia soon.
There you go. Or you have a choice not to complain about it.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Yeah, there you go. We've lots of choices
You
there.
have a choice to dance in the puddles. It's like
Mhm.
I remember uh my little girl, they like go to Steiner schools. So it's crazy because
So
now
cool.
I go to Steiner schools. Now I can spot a child in a Steiner school because they rejoice in the crap weather. They rejoice in
Oh
the rain.
yeah,
They just
playtime.
dance in puddles. They want to be outside in the rain. It's crazy.
Kids
And I
love the
remember,
rain.
yeah, but it depends if they're conditioned into loving the rain. That's
Yeah.
literally what it's about.
Oh, I
Because
think they love the rain anyway, don't they? Even if they have, like, you see parents like, get in out of the rain. They're like, "Arr."
uh, yeah, but then what happens in adulthood when nobody likes the rain? What's
Yeah,
happened?
I love the rain, actually.
You
I
like being
mean,
out in it.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I used
Oh,
to, and like I lived overseas in hot climates for
yeah.
years, and I came home and I was like, oh, miserable Ireland. But now I've really acclimatized, and I actually kind of love it. Like
Would
getting
you
wet
go
is
out for a
like,
walk in the rain?
but it's the choice, isn't it? It's like the mindset. I once I started shifting my mindset and everything, sure, I love everything now.
Yeah.
Toxic positivity. I love everything. But I do, but like that's the thing, I actually do. Sorry, I've just moved that. But yeah, we're kind of getting off topic. Choice,
No,
Lynn.
well, it's kind of like it's brilliant because it's like in Ireland we have so much rain, right? And it's like, okay, I have a choice to complain about. I have a choice to make myself feel isolated and limited in the rain, or not really. Like
Yeah.
somebody said to me they were going to take back up walking, and I was like, that's great. I said, even walk in the rain. They were like, oh no, absolutely not. And I was like, it's so amazing to walk
Yeah.
in
But
the
you
rain.
know what I think is so funny? Like, because I was away for over 10 years and like it's like I never watched soaps, but like it's like Coronation Street, like it hasn't changed in 20 years. Like it's the same episode all the time or whatever. But it's kind of like that. I came back and it's like Irish people talk about the weather as if it's the first time they've ever experienced it. Like the rain, they're like, oh my God, the weather, oh my God, it's so cold. It's like this has been happening all the time, forever. So
Yeah.
why are you having the same conversation? I just think it's hilarious. Like, it's like, we love to talk about weather, don't we?
Conditioned,
Yeah,
conditioned
yeah,
into it.
conditions, yeah. And
Um,
it's the conversation piece because the weather is, for those of you that don't live in Ireland that are watching, like I mean, it could be winter, summer, spring, autumn, all in one day, all seasons in one day. You could cross one side of the street and it'd be winter, and the other side of the street is summer.
yeah, and then you have a choice whatever side of the street you want to be on.
There you go. It's all back down to. I love the way you turn that around, Lynn. Fair play. Yes, it's
And
all
it's
down to choice, making a decision. We have a choice. We have a
we have
choice.
a choice. We always have a choice.
Hallelujah.
But I really want to honor people though that are hearing this, and it's like that annoys them. Speaking about like resistance in our previous video, right? That it
Yeah.
annoys them to hear that they have a choice because a lot of people are in a lot of resistance or conflict or turmoil. And it's like, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice of my life. My life is crap and this, blah, 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 blah. And I remember years ago when I used to hear that, I was like that. I was like, how do I have a choice? I have no control over what's going on. And it's like, So I completely empathize with anybody that's listening to this and saying, I don't have a choice. My life's chaos. I don't have a choice in the job that I have. I don't have a choice in the relationship I have. My kid's this, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
you,
because choice kind of seems like freedom, like, doesn't it? And like people don't feel like they have freedom in certain, you know, especially people with kids, probably like, I don't have a choice. I have to get my kids up in the morning. I have to blah, 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 blah. So like, you know, it's kind of like it, but it's, yeah, sorry, I cut you.
yeah, no, you're right though, because you're adding to where I want to go. Because choice comes from our conscious mind, which is our thinking mind. It's a higher faculty. Choice is a higher faculty. It's a characteristic of our thinking mind.
Mm.
So you have a choice to think differently, regardless. Oh, the energy in my hands.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, it's just like, whoo, whoo, whoo.
Yeah.
Um, ugh. So
Funny.
regardless of the circumstances, that's it. Because you've got a conscious thinking mind
Mm.
whose characteristic is choice.
Mm.
And this is what I say to my students all the time. The only thing that you can be categorically guaranteed that you have control over is your thinking mind to
Mm.
choose how you respond or
Yeah.
how you think about a certain situation.
Yeah,
That's your
that's it. It's exactly, you could be in the dredges, like you could be in the doldrums, you could be going through the worst situation ever. But like it's how you think about it. Like there's a choice. Like you might not have a choice to hop on a plane and fly to a hot country or like go away on a holiday, or you know, you might not have those kind of choices, but you definitely have a choice in how you, and it's kind of like resistance. There's a good example of resistance, because if you're resisting what's going on by constantly kind of going, oh, like this is horrendous, this is this is that, that is a form of resistance. But you have the choice to go, you know, like I'll flip this and just either not think about the situation you're in or see it in a different light, see it with a different perspective, like that
or
choice.
even if that's too advanced, like that's exactly it, Aoife. But some people might be like, I can't even see that. Then even start off with knowing, okay, this is going on, and I can look for a different perspective. And
Yeah.
then that can stage up, because if there's a lot of tension and resistance there, you may have to step yourself out of it a little bit, as opposed to looking for the extremity of
Yeah.
way that you're responding to it.
Yeah.
So I love that. It's literally then step yourself bit by bit out of it. Because if you're human, you've got a mind. And if you've got a mind, you've got choice of thought. And if you've got choice of thought, then you've got the freedom to respond to your circumstances differently. And
Yeah.
that's your power. That's conscious choice. It's literally a faculty of your mind. It's there. You just have never exercised it. And therefore it's withered. It's atrophied. Atrophied.
Atrophied.
Atrophied. It's not, I get the word is coming out as a trophy.
Yeah.
When a muscle like withers up and dies or becomes
I know
inactive.
the word you're talking about. I have it on the top of my, yeah, but I can't think of
I
it.
know,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
even see the word spelled, but the pronunciation not coming out. But that's exactly what it means. It's like when a part is not used, you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm.
And it goes back to, you were probably never realized that you did have a choice, because in the first couple of years you don't really have a choice. So you learned, it became conditioned that you don't have a choice. You must do, say, be as everybody wants you, eat what you eat, what somebody else wants you to eat, dress as somebody else wants you to dress, largely. And therefore your ability to have a conscious choice, I was never exercised or nourished.
And as well, having a conscious choice means making decisions, and decision making can be quite scary, because you're kind of like, you know, like knowing you have a choice. And so it's like, I always hate this in a restaurant. The more options you have drives me nuts, because I'm like, there's too much choice. I can't cope. Do you know what I mean? Like, I much prefer when there's only about 5 selections on the menu, because it's like, oh, I don't know, they all look lovely, or I don't know. But so that like choice can be quite daunting, because
Well, they're kind of like tied into the same thing, right? Because when you're speaking there, I'm like, well, if you were never taught you had a choice, well, then you didn't have to exercise your faculty or your ability to make decisions. Because
yeah,
if you had a choice, why would you make a decision?
yeah, 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 yeah. True. Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so like just kind of like, I mean, when we realize we have a choice, like we can choose, and like it's a kind of, I mean, where that is important, Lynn, like the ability or the option to make choices is important. It's like when we're in the doldrums, when we're in like a situation which might have us being in the victim mindset, and the victim mindset being like, oh my God, this is happening, this is terrible, why is this happening? That kind of mindset. We have the choice to kind of go, like, we do have the choice to be in more of a creator mindset, and that's what we do with the CSI method. It's like looking at the different perspective and the different perceptions that we can elevate ourselves from. So like, instead of, we have the choice to step outside of anything, to step out of anything and step into something else. It's
yeah, your
like
higher
sliding doors, isn't it?
step into your higher elevated state, right? You just reminded me there the today, uh literally every, like, if I was holding a cup, it'd fall. Like everything was just challenging me that day to extend into my higher self, because that's why it happens. And in that morning, I just said to myself, and this is a nice one just to flip it around, but you have to persist and be consistent in that energy to build that momentum. But I was like, this is interesting. Number one, just call your attention to it. It's interesting. I said, the universe is happening for me, not to me. There's gold here, there's opportunity here. And I remind myself of that. And Aoife, you're going to love this, because this is one way to pull yourself back, to realize that you have choice. Take that nourishing breath yourself, right?
Yeah,
And when you
check
take
in.
those couple of nourishing breaths, you bring the body back to a regulated state. And that is your choice to do that. And you've literally just used a free internal tool within you to relinquish your power.
And that blissful breath, because when you do, when you're like, I mean, I do like conscious breath work. So like, you consciously breathing, you can't help but feel like you're kind of, it's a blissful thing. You're really connected to it. Like, so there, you know, it kind of regulates you to go, right, okay, what choice will I make? It's almost like a stop sign. It's like, take a breath, make your choice. And you know,
But even the choice to take a breath, because taking a breath is literally to use your breath to calm the body down. And that's a choice.
yeah.
That's a choice. Like,
Yeah.
we are always making choices
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's great to know that we don't have to give an answer straight away. We don't have to react straight away. We don't have to, you know, like we don't have to go with the flow. We don't have to people please. We don't have to, like, we don't have to do anything we don't want to do. We have a choice, and we there is other options out there for us. So using that skill set, because it is really a skill set, making choices, like good or bad or indifferent choices, but using that to our benefit. Like, we have a choice, we can choose to be or do whatever it is we want to be or
Yeah.
do.
And that reminds me then, people, what happens then is when you decide you want to go for choice, it's like you've got to stake your intention, because that's structure, right? What's your intention? And then to be willing to look at what's here, which feeds into the resistance video before. And then our what we might do a video on it then next or next week is about intention, because you have to know what you want. You have to stake your claim.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. And like, intention directs you, doesn't it? Intention is actually so important. It's the mother of all, um, like everything, direction, orientation, like setting that intention, kind of almost, it's the end result. When you set the intention, you're actually
The end result, yeah.
driving straight to the
Yeah.
end result.
And then when you consciously choose, that's the natural momentum of the energy pulling you towards that. And voila, you create what you desire. Join us on Next Level Therapy for more info, more great info, and to learn when soon to join CSI, to join our programs.
To join our movement.
Join
You can wear a
Ireland.
red top. Join us while we twin it. I wonder will we twin it next
Are you
week,
red?
love.
You red or pink?
It's actually red, but it looks a bit more pinky. Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
thought it was, yeah, pinky. It's funny because my two kids were comparing colors as well this morning, and one was calling it purple and one was calling it pink, and I was trying to name
Ah,
the pink that
yeah.
it was, and then the other one said it was purple. So it's like,
Yeah.
anyway, who says it could have been blue? I could have been told it was blue.
But isn't it so funny? Because I know like rambling now a bit, but like I always find that with color, like you know, with the kids, like in teaching art, it's like who's to think my red is their red?
I
Like
know,
none of us actually really know what color we see through our own eyes.
I
You know,
know, I know,
it's
I know.
amazing.
Oh my God, you're bringing me on to something else. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyway,
no, we better go. We better go again, again, again. So next week, actually, I'm really looking forward to that because intention is the mother of all things. Like, you know, it really setting intentions really kind of helps us on the right path,
yeah.
the path of
And
least
knowing how
resistance.
to set intentions that are from your higher self as opposed to the fear and
And I
limitation.
forgot we did path of least resistance, Abraham Hicks again. Like we forgot to mention that in what we resist, we persist. But like when we resist, we were looking for the path of least resistance. So setting an intention like is the beginning of all that, isn't it?
Yeah, to create the path of least resistance.
The least resistant path. Yeah. Anyway, come here, go on. Talk to you soon. See you
Talk to you
next week.
soon. See you next week.